No.
Dude.
But fantastic character.
Oh my god.
Oh, like, how do you introduce someone who is so deprived of honor, of moral, of courtesy, of anything? You give him a 15-year-old to grope while sitting in front of fucking Catelyn Stark, have his own children say, "Hey, Dad, don't be an asshole," and have him say, "Your mother would still be a milkmaid if I had it squirted you into her belly."
Yep.
There's no fucking better way to do it.
And I don't want to be so bold as to say this is the exact shot that scene started out with, but I think it's roughly around. It's literally his hand groping her ass.
It's around the start. Yeah. It's
I don't want to say it is the first shot, and then Jesus be like, "Well, actually."
All right, you want me to actually you? The actual last shot of this episode isn't Ned dying. It's actually Arya's face as she looks up at the birds. So actually, get fucked.
I mean,
nerd.
I'm only getting fucked if I said that statement on a podcast and it can be proved. If you're just bitching about something that happened off camera.
No, you said it. You said at the start of this
When?
episode. You said at the start. We'll do the little like flashback thing. Play it here, right here. You see it. You said, and I quote, "Episode starts with Ned is close up and he's at captivity, and then it's
so
the end
close
with
to-
the cutting off of the head."
Art is not a science or a game of numbers. It's an art. It's a rough. It's around the same area as the beginning and the end.
Yeah, I'm starting to. I could see why you like later seasons of this show now. You just kind of fabricate everything, lie to yourself.
Good art. You just want boring ass numbers. All right.
My hat.
So, what happened?
It fell.
How?
It fell. What do you mean? How? It fell. It fell off. It's right here.
With gravity? Did it just... I refuse. I refuse to engage with this bad faith argument. Who's next on our list of characters?
Jon motherfucking Snow.
Yeah, again, let's get back to circles, all right? Jon's struggle of like, oh, fuck. Should I stay or should I go? You know what I mean? I mean, this motherfucker gets a goddamn get out of jail free card of like, you'd be fucking up with Thorne, and he's just like, it's all right, Jon. I sent Thorne out of the camp. You're good. Just don't fuck up. Just don't leave. Sit tight. And then what does Jon do? Is like, I want to leave.
But
I want
here's
to
the thing,
go.
and this is so in character. It's beautiful, actually. Jon is the most.
Bring me my water boy.
Ugh. That one's empty. Jon is the most loving of his family. He's the one who, despite not actually being a Stark, wants to be a Stark and cherishes the Stark name more than anyone else. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we've seen this since episode 1. So to see him hear about the news and then immediately just fucking jump. I gotta go out there.
I mean, the contrast of, not a Stark, but a Tully. Like Lysa's reaction to be like, well, your husband's a dumb piece of shit.
Yeah. And like another contrast, Lysa. Well, the letter was addressed to me, so I didn't feel the need. I told you out of courtesy that your fucking husband was locked in a cage and your daughters are being held captive. Versus Samwell, who's like, I'm being ordered not to tell you, but I have to tell you.
Yeah.
It's just night and day. So, you gotta love Sam.
Oh,
but
dude.
Jon, like this beautiful appreciation of his character, because you gotta commend him. He has been shunned, maybe not by all the Starks, but by the Stark name. He's never been able to claim it as his own, but he still cherishes that family. He still loves his brothers, his sisters, even his father.
Yeah. And that struggle paralleled with Aemond, a Targaryen, who he was at the Night's Watch at the same time of the struggle. When his family is slaughtered by Robert. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And what is he to do? What can he do?
What can he? It's that, especially in his old age, blind and weak as he is. Like, what could you possibly do?
Yeah.
Given this information that not only is all your family being murdered, but even the children, in their homes, being slaughtered.
And while there's a huge payoff and sense of closure when it comes to Ned Stark. I mean, there's no more story for him. I feel like this episode had a lot of like setups for the next episode, right? Like Jon Snow, like this scene is literally just a one shot of like, okay, Jon Snow wants to leave. By the episode's end, we'll have no resolution to that next week. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I feel like the way Aemon tells that story, there's one line where he talks about how you're blessed to have this struggle at your age, right? I was in my old age already by the time I heard the news. You know what I mean? So like you still have a choice, and I thought that was interesting that he didn't just tell him like sit the fuck down. It was kind of like, look, it will be a mistake, but it's yours to make.
Yeah, it's a decision at the end of the day, and you need to make it. Whatever, you have to live with the consequences of whatever decision you make. And I think that's like a great moment. And one thing I really appreciate is that Jon is still very much the entitled brat that he was at the start of the show. Because if you look at this moment, he's literally saying, no one knows how I feel. No one could ever understand me. Only I know what I'm feeling. And then you have a guy right here who's like, bitch, I literally lived your experience verbatim.
You don't know. Yeah. Nobody knows.
Exactly.
But that also strikes to the core of Jon's character and what actually makes him such a good character, which is struggle. You know what I mean? Yeah. It isn't just like, oh, I want to go to the Night's Watch, and then I do so. You know what I mean? He has such fucking struggle with, like, you know what I mean? Like, it wasn't just a matter of giving up the ability to take land and have kids. He's seen the unforeseen consequences now of like, oh fuck, what happens if my dad is taken prisoner, my sisters are kidnapped, my dumb fuck brother's going to war, you know what I mean? Because the way when he reacts when he sees Robb like going to war, he's just like, oh no, all he has is Theon. This is horrible. You know what I mean? I need to be there. That's what makes Jon Snow such a good character, is like I don't want you to just stay put. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, for sure. And I think that I really it couldn't have come at a better time narratively, because Jon is, like you said, like Thorne is not on his ass because he's like, you know, thousands of miles away. He's just been given a sword by the leading commander of the Night's Watch.
Narratively, he's at his highest point in the Night's Watch.
Yeah, literally he walks down the hall, everyone's giving the pat on the back, like,
playing
hey,
with
Jon.
his sword.
Yeah, exactly. Give him a little rub here or there.
Yep.
Like, he's at his highest. It's the worst time to leave, and that's when he has to make that choice. You know?
Yeah.
I really love that. Whatever he decides, like it'll be a difficult decision. It's either your family or your brothers, you know?
With a dramatic.
Is he all right?